Hey there, guys. It was requested that I go back to the Rursan Arbiter with like a more budget run. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be going to the Arbiter, going for all missions. We're not going to bring a friend because we don't really need a friend. You can obviously bring one. You should bring one, but we don't really need it specifically. So this is the team we're going to use. Pretty budget gear, pretty budget units. We're going to use Beatrix, who in the base form is just using a little bit of auto buffing. Shift form is just using some spirit. This is heavy overkill. You don't need this much spirit, but it's like, whatever. She's going to be covering the single target magic attack, and that's pretty much it. Jessie is going to be provoking the single target magic attack that Beatrix will cover. She's also going to be evasion provoking and using death immunity. You actually don't need a ribbon. The boss doesn't do any status effects. That's optional. So other than that, just, she's passive provoke naturally, gears for evasion very easily. So she's just full evade with death immunity. She's also going to be doing things like mana restore for the party. Renora is for double Mirage. If you don't one-shot the boss, he does double physical attacks, AoE, on thresholds. So he's just going to double AoE Mirage every now and then. He's also using Magic Break. This is a craftable. Anyone can craft this. Just so we can break the boss's magic. It's like the boss does very low damage even if you don't break the boss, but you should break him to lower the damage even further. Queen's going to be our DPS, one of them. Double hand with the red sword. We're using Elena for sword in peril. So red sword, machine killer, LB damage. We're going to be using her SLB. Mine's only EX1, so the damage won't be great, but whatever. 245 LB damage, 300 machine killer, and it is a budget build, so we are keeping the gear pretty low in. Now she's going to be only doing thunder damage. The boss randomly goes weak to thunder, fire, or ice, and you absolutely should bring elementally flexible DPS and imbue them with the proper element each time the boss goes. But you don't really need to. That just speeds it up. We're going to go for a slow clear. If the boss goes weak to thunder, great. If not, the clear will be slower. Not that big a deal in any case. And then Elena is going to be chaining with our queen. She's going to self-imbue herself with thunder. Other than that, just, budget build, machine killer, double hand, etc. We're not using the chain cap increase because that is an STMR for her to use one. So we're not going to use it, but you should if you have it. Shift form, just a little bit of auto buffing, and that's pretty much it. And we're not bringing a friend because, whatever. And then you can bring like a Sephiroth friend and just blow this up on like turn 1, turn 2, even through the resistances. But if you don't have that, budget run does work. Shut up, dude. You talk too much. Okay, so we're going to use Renora just to do Magic Break on this turn. Jessie will just imperil. We're going to Bravery and then just Midgar Special. Queen will, Chain, and Mana Charge, and Elena go to the base form. We're going to, Chain, and Imbue. So the first turn, we're not really doing too much damage because we didn't imbue until after the chaining. So the damage is going to be very low. But whatever. Okay, so Beatrix will shift. And we will cover and mitigate. So there's be a bunch of single target attacks on Jessie, who is evading them. A few single target magics, which Beatrix will cover. Very low damage, as you can see. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and Piercing Prism and then double Salvation. And Queen will triple Bolt Thrust. And this should do a lot better damage this time. Let's go ahead and chain that up. Okay, by a lot better damage, I mean basically no damage. We really need the boss to go weak to thunder, it seems. Okay, so Renor will just double Mirage, stat buff, and that's all. He only has double cast. Jessie can just triple Midgar Special. And Beatrix can just, literally whatever. Doesn't even matter. Okay. Oh, yellow break sight. The boss is weak to thunder. This will be really good damage this turn. Really, really good damage. Okay, so it is random. The boss could have gone weak to ice or fire. He went weak to thunder, which is great. He's not always going to do that on this turn. Unfortunately, Queen's SLB is not ready yet, so that can't be helped. But, I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to do before I chain. Not really. We'll go ahead and chain it up. Because the boss is weak to thunder this turn, the damage is going to be way better. It ain't that much better. But, okay. Let's see. We really don't need a whole lot from either of these. I guess Beatrix can cover... Does she even have a magic break in her kit? I don't think so. I guess we'll shell go. Okay. So here we go. There's the threshold, the AoE attack, double miraged by Renora. So that's fine. Chain this up. Beatrix can just LB, I guess. The boss is no longer weak to thunder, just FYI. Okay, so next turn we're going to get the SLB on Queen. We're going to wait in case the boss goes weak to thunder again. The boss probably won't, but if so, it'll do a ton of damage. Alright, we're going to use Elena this turn to double salve and imbue. How's the boss's sword in peril? 3 more turns. Alright, Queen is going to double bolt and mana charge. Before we do this, let's have Jesse break the boss, bravery, and just refurbished, whatever. Alright, chain this up. Yeah, the damage is very, very low outside of SLB, or weak point. Okay, we'll just cover and mitigate. Hopefully the boss goes weak to thunder again. Please, yellow. Yellow break sight. Okay, so normally this is not going to be the case. Normally the boss would go weak to fire or thunder. Thankfully, the boss is cooperating today. We're getting lots of yellows, so big thumbs up there. Let's go ahead and use the SLB on Queen. Now the SLB is you have to offset the timing slightly with bolting strike. We're going to click Elena like a split second before Queen for that, and that should proper chain. It actually didn't. It's like a chain broke, which kind of sucks. But it's still chained. Yeah, we actually only got a 51-point chain instead of 53. Not a big deal. It's a little tricky to chain Queen's SLB with bolting strike. It has that weird offset. But anyway, as you can see, once the boss goes weak to a proper element, the SLB would destroy it. Now, you could, of course, bring, like Sephiroth, blow it up. You could bring someone to imbue the proper elements, like Ignis or whatever. Queen absolutely carried that fight with her SLB once the boss went weak to Thunder. So, every 3 turns, the boss will go weak to one of the elements, Thunder, Fire, or Ice. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Once the boss goes weak to that element, use your big burst, like Queen's SLB, and it destroys the boss. So single target death, make sure your provoker is death immune, evasion for your provoker, and then either magical cover or just make your provoker high spirit. They don't even need cover. If you're using like a really high spirit provoker with evasion and death immunity, there you go. Double mirage for those threshold attacks. I think the thresholds are, let me actually double check for you guys. The threshold is at 90, 60, and 30%. So there you go. And yeah, every 3 turns, you can hurt the boss with either really big damage of thunder, fire, or ice, depending on the weak point. The red breakpoint is fire, blue breakpoint is ice, and yellow breakpoint is thunder. So there you go. You could also bring things like Kurasame, Queen, and Machina, all 3 of them. And then that way, each 3rd turn, at least somebody is dealing the proper element damage, and the boss will die pretty quickly and easily. Anyway, there's the budget run, all missions, and I did show the gear, I'm pretty sure, at the beginning of the fight. I did. Okay, so that's it. See you guys next time.